Burkina Faso has shaken the global order with what many are calling a bold gold coup. In a single sweeping move, the West African nation seized control of its gold mines, resources that for decades were dominated by foreign giants. While Western investors panicked, Burkina Faso's government called it nothing less than liberation. This is not just about gold. This is about sovereignty, history, and a continent rewriting its destiny. Today, we dive deep into how one of Africa's poorest countries has turned gold into a weapon against global dependence. For decades, Africa has been the engine of global resources: gold, diamonds, oil, cobalt, uranium. Yet, despite its riches, African nations remain some of the poorest in the world. Why? Because foreign corporations, often backed by Western governments, extracted these resources while leaving behind little for the people. Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation in West Africa, is no exception. Gold makes up nearly 70% of its exports, but most of the profits flowed abroad into the hands of multinational companies and foreign shareholders. The result? Wealth in the soil, poverty on the streets. But then came the bold announcement. The transitional government, under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, declared that Burkina Faso was taking back control of its gold mines. Foreign contracts would be reviewed, state ownership would rise, and revenues would be redirected to fund schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. Western investors immediately sounded the alarm. Stock markets dipped, mining companies issued warnings, headlines screamed of uncertainty. But inside Burkina Faso, there was celebration. For many, this was not a coup against investors. It was a coup for the people. Why such panic from the West? Because gold is more than a shiny metal. It is the backbone of global finance. Central banks hoard it. Currencies are stabilized by it. And control over gold reserves translates to global leverage. By seizing its gold, Burkina Faso sent a message to the world. We are no longer just suppliers. We are owners. This bold move rattled the Western powers because it challenges a system they have relied on for centuries, a system where Africa provides resources and the West reaps the rewards. Burkina Faso is not alone. Across Africa, nations are beginning to question old deals. In Mali and Niger, new governments are pushing back against French influence. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, leaders are reevaluating mining contracts with Chinese companies. In Zimbabwe, lithium is being nationalized. A quiet but powerful wave is sweeping across the continent. The fight for economic sovereignty. Burkina Faso's gold coup may just be the spark that ignites a continent-wide fire of independence. But let's be clear. This path is not without risks. Nationalizing resources is not as simple as flipping a switch. Foreign investors may pull out, leaving mines without expertise or funding. Sanctions could follow, crippling international trade. And internal corruption could derail the promise of liberation. The question is, can Burkina Faso manage its resources better than the foreign corporations did? If successful, the benefits are enormous. More jobs for locals, infrastructure funded by gold revenue, real sovereignty for the first time in history. But if it fails, the dream of liberation could collapse under economic pressure. For centuries, Africa's story has been written by outsiders, from colonial powers to modern multinationals. Burkina Faso's move is an attempt to seize the pen and write its own chapter. It is also symbolic. As the African diaspora saying goes, I am because we are, and we are because I am. Burkina Faso's gold coup is not just about one nation. It's about a continent reminding the world that African wealth belongs first to Africans. So what happens next? Will Burkina Faso's bold gamble inspire a new era of African sovereignty? Or will it trigger economic retaliation that forces the nation back into dependence? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Africa is rising and the world is watching. This is not just the story of gold. This is the story of freedom, resistance, and the rebirth of a continent.